Good morning, students. Today we will do Roman numerals. As in the earlier classes, also you have done this Roman numeral. We know that the seven basic numerals are I, V, X, L, C, D, and M. Now these numerals stands for respective values also in Hindu Arabic numerals that we will study up to 39 you have studied in class 4. Now right now we will do Roman numerals up to 100. Before we start with the Roman numerals, I will explain this table which is there in front of you. I stands for 1, V stands for 5, X stands for 10, L stands for 50, C stands for 100, D stands for 500 and M stands for 1000. And how will you going to use it? There are certain rules for writing Roman numerals. So that rule will be clear to you all within few minutes. Okay. Before that, I want to show you one video. That video you will see first. Now here is the video of Roman numerals. Just see that Roman numerals video.
Numeral system. Each symbol is represented by a letter of the English alphabet. You can write any number using a combination of these symbols. Let's take a look at these symbols. First one is letter I, which means 1. The second one is V, which means 5. The third one is X, which means 10. The fourth one is L, which means 50. The fifth one is C, which means 100. The sixth one is D, which means 500. And the seventh one is M, which means 1000. So here we have 7 symbols: I, V, X, L, C, D, M. Once again, let's take a look at these symbols. I stands for 1, V stands for 5, L is 50, C is 100, D is 500, and L is 1000. Now let's go through some rules for writing numbers using Roman numerals. The first rule says repeating a symbol means addition. This is quite simple. What this means is that if you write I 3 times, then you would add the value of I 3 times, and the result is 1 plus 1 plus 1, which is equal to 3. Let's take a look at another example. In this case, we have symbol X written 3 times. Since X stands for 10, we would add 10 3 times, and the answer is 10 plus 10 plus 10, which is equal to 30. Now let's go to the next rule. The next rule says that a symbol should not repeat more than 3 times. So you cannot write V, 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 V because V is getting repeated 4 times. Let's move on to the third rule. The symbols are always written in the descending order from left to right. It means that you start with greater number on the left, and then the smaller number, and then the smaller number, and so on. So for example, here we have V, I. Now V, which represents 5, is greater than I, which represents 1. So write 5 and then add 1 to it. And since I is getting repeated 3 times, so you would add 1 3 times, and the answer is 8. Let's take a look at another example. LXV. In this case, L is greater than X, which itself is greater than 5. So we have 50 plus 10 plus 5, which is equal to 65. What do you think of LCM? In this case, L is equal to 50, which is lesser than C, which is equal to 100. And C is lesser than M, which is equal to 1000. So LCM is incorrect. Now let's move on to subtraction rules. First one says smaller number appearing before the larger number is subtracted. Let's start with a simple example, that is IX. Since I is smaller than X, we would subtract I from X, which is equal to 10 minus 1, which is equal to 9. Let's look at another example. XLIV. This is little tricky. Let's start from the left. Since X is less than L, therefore we would subtract X from L, which becomes 50 minus 10. And then we would add I, but hold on, we have to look towards the right of the I. Since I is less than V, therefore we would first subtract I from V, which is 5 minus 1. Now we would add the result of these two subtractions. So it becomes 40 plus 4 is equal to 44. Next rule says only I, X and C can be subtracted. That is, you can only subtract 1, 10, 100. Another way to look at this rule is that you cannot subtract VLD. That is, you cannot subtract 5, 50, 500. Next rule is continuation of the previous rules. Only IV, IX, XL, XC, CD, CM subtractions are allowed. If you look carefully, we are subtracting I, X and C from two consecutive greater numbers. So I can be subtracted from 5 and 10, 10 from 50 and 100, and 100 from 500 and 1000. What do you think of XM? 10 cannot be subtracted from 1000, so incorrect. Okay, time to do some reverse exercises. How would you write 990? Let's start with writing 990 in the expanded form. It can be written as 900 plus 90. Now I am going to share a very important trick with you. Every time you see a digit 4 or 9, think of subtraction. What it means, if you see 40, then you should think of writing it as 50 minus 10. Similarly, if you see 90, you should think of writing it as 100 minus 10. So in our example, we would write 900 as 1000 minus 100 and 90 as 100 minus 10. So now 1000 minus 100 can be written as CM. Remember the first rule of subtraction? Smaller number appearing before the larger number should be subtracted. Similarly, 90 can be written as XC. So the answer is CMXC. Let's take a look at another complex example. 1982. It can be written in the expanded form as 1000 plus 900 plus 80 plus 2. Now 1000 is left as it is. 900 can be written as 1000 minus 100, 80 as 50 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, and 2 as 1 plus 1. So the answer becomes MCML XXXII. Thank you.
As you have seen in the video, I stands for, repeat with me, I stands for 1, V stands for 5, X stands for 10, L stands for 50, C stands for 100, century, D stands for 500, M stands for 1000. Now, there are some of the basic rules for writing Roman numerals. When we were doing the exercise, along with that exercise only, I am going to tell you the rules. The first basic rule is I or X, I or X can be written 3 times. 3 times or less than 3 times. Less than 3 times. Now we cannot write I or X more than 3 times. Secondly, V cannot be written 3 times, and I can be subtracted from V also, and I can be subtracted from X also. It means what? If I have to write 1 I will write with 1 I, 2 I, 3 I. But for 4, I cannot write it. I. That will be incorrect. What I will do? I will write 5 and then subtract 1. What does it mean? 5 minus 1. When we are writing any Roman numeral before any Roman numeral, it means you have to subtract that number from that given number. So, here what I am doing it? I am subtracting 1 from 5. So, this will become 4. Similarly, after 5, the symbol for 5 is this 6. We are going to add. When we are putting this Roman numeral, after any Roman numeral means like this, So what does it means? It means we are adding 5 plus 1. 5 plus 1, that will become 6. Similarly, for 7, 5 plus 2, that will become 7. 8, 5 plus 3. Now come to 9. For 10 you all know that is x. How will we write 9? As I told you, I or x, I cannot be written more than 3 times. More than 3 times. So we cannot write it 4 times. Like we cannot write it like this. So this will be incorrect. So how will we write it? What we will do? From 10 we will subtract 1. From 10 we will subtract 1. So how we will write? I, then x. We will put I before x. So this will become 10 minus 1, that is equal to 9. This I am telling you only for explanation. You have to remember this only. The number, how will you represent 9? Now we'll come to a little bigger number, like when you have to write 11. So this will be symbol of 11. 11 you can write it like this. Similarly 12, 13, 14. Now 4, the symbol of 4 is this. You will use this symbol. That will become 14. Then 15, 16. For 20 you will use 2x. For 20 you will use 2x. For 30 you will use 3x. As I told you above only, I and x can be written 3 times or less than 3 times, but not more than 3 times. So for writing 40, what will be the symbol? For writing 40, we have, for 50 we have L. So out of 50 when we subtract x, now here x can be subtracted from L. But I and V are smaller than x. That's why we will not subtract I and V from L. So only x can be subtracted from L. Rest other number will be adding to it. Fine. So this will become XL. What does it mean? 50 minus 10. Whenever we are writing any Roman numeral before any Roman numeral, it means we are subtracting that Roman numeral from that given Roman numeral. Now L is 50 minus 10, that will become 40. Now this symbol you are going to use for 40 itself. Now L you all know that L stands for 50. So if you have to write 60, so x will be adding in that will become 60. One more 70, then one more 80. Now if you have to write 90, what you will do? Now for 100 you all know, C is there. From C you will subtract x. Now this you have to understand. X can be subtracted from L also and x can be subtracted from C also. So for 90, how will you write it? For 90, how will you write it? You will subtract x from C. You will subtract x from C. So that will become 90. 100 minus 10. 100 minus 10. 100 minus 10 is equal to 90. I hope this will be clear to you all. Okay. Now as we are going to do the questions, along with the question only I will explain all these. Means basic I have told you, along with the question you will be able to understand. Now see example 1. Write the following in Roman numeral. Now first example you can see on the screen. Write the following in Roman numerals. Now Roman numerals 47 is there. Now 40 can be written 40 plus 7. Now for 40 I have told you just now XL. 10 will be subtracted from 50. XL plus VII, that is representation for 7. So that will become XL VII, that will become 47. For 75 you can write 70 plus 5, that is LXX plus V. That will become your LXXV. That will become your 75. Now 89, 80 plus 9. As I have told you, for 80 you can write LXXX because x can be repeated 3 times, plus 9 IX. That will be the symbol of 9, and then combine all these and then you will write that number. 98, 90 XC. As I told you, the symbol for 90 is 100 minus 10. That is XC plus 8. So that will become 90 plus 8. Now come to example 2. In example 2, the numbers have been given in Roman numerals. You have to write the numbers in Hindu Arabic numerals. You will expand that Roman numeral and then write it in Roman numerals. Now, do you know Romans did not have 0? Romans are not using 0. So, there is no symbol for 0, you will get it. So, we'll do the exercise. Example 2 we'll see once. A is L X I V. Now I is put it before V, so it means I will be subtracted from V. So that number will be L plus X plus I V. I am telling you example 2A part, L plus X plus I V. L is the symbol of 50, X will be the symbol of 10, IV means 1 will be subtracted from 5, that will become 4. So 50 plus 10 plus 4 is equals to 64. Now come to exercise 1.5. We'll do this exercise 1.5 right now. Okay. Now the first question is write. First question is write the following in Roman numerals. Write the following in Roman numerals. Now first question is you have to write it in Roman numerals. A part is 40. Now as I told you, 40 can be written. It cannot be written like 30 plus 10. No, because x can be repeated only 3 times. So we'll write it like this, 50 minus 10. As I told you, the symbol for 50 is L. 10 means subtracting means you are going to put 10 before L. So that will become XL. Now this will be the symbol for 40. Now B part, we'll see B part now. B part is 55. Now 55 can be written 50 plus 5. So for 50 is L, for 5 is V. So the symbol for 55 will be LV. Is that clear? Now C part. C part is 74. Now for 70 plus 4, for 70 L X X, 50 plus 10 plus 10, that will become 70 plus 4 I V. So the total symbol for 74 will be L X X I V. Fine. These all are quite easy. We'll move to I part, which is a little bit tricky also. I part is 99. So that can be written 90 plus 9. How will you write 90? We can subtract x, means 10 from 100. So that will become 90. 100 minus 10. That will become 90, plus the symbol for 9 is I x. So the total will be XCIX. Fine. I hope it is clear to you all. Similarly, you can do this E part also, 94 also. 94. 90 plus 4. First, the symbol for 90 will be XC. Means you are subtracting 10 from 100. And 4 is you are subtracting 1 from V. That is 5. 5 minus 1, 4. And here 100 minus 10, 90. So the total symbol will be XCIV. When got it? Now, I hope this question 1 will be clear to you all. Question 1. Fine. Now we'll move to question number 2. Question number 2 is write the following in Hindu Arabic numeral. Question number 2 is write the following number in Hindu Arabic numeral. Now the number has been given in Roman numeral and you have to write it in Hindu Arabic numeral. Now you will break up that number. L stands for 50 plus this stands for 13. So what is the total? 50 plus 10, 60. The total will be 63. Similarly, B part. B part is XLIX. Now remember this. Whenever you have been given a number like that, that lesser number is subtracting from the bigger number. These both number you will put together. Now I is also less than x. So this will be put it together and this first one will be put it together. That is XL. So here XL will become 50 minus 10. Yes, 40. And here 10 minus 1, 9. So what is the number? 49 in Hindu Arabic numeral. This is quite easy, only some practice is required. Fine. I'll tell you one more part, that is D part. D part is XCV. Now X is smaller than C. So here XC you will write, then V you will write separately. Now 10 will be subtracted from 100, that will become 90 and V will become 5. So the total will become 95. Only the basic rules you have to follow and then you will do this numbers. You can write the numbers in Roman numerals, you can write the numbers in Hindu Arabic numeral. Only have to remember, whenever a smaller Roman numeral is there before any bigger Roman numeral, that number will be subtracted from that number, and when it is placed after it, then you are going to add it. As always we were doing, in after we are adding the number and in before we are subtracting the number. Now see question number 3 in your exercise. Compare using these symbols. So you have to find out which number is this. Fine. In rough only you can find it out, and here in that question only you will put the mark sign like XCI. XCI means X is smaller than C, that will become 90 plus 1, 91, and the other number is LXII. See here, I'll show you this question here, question number 3. You have to find it out, that number, and then see question number 3. Only comparison you have to do. The number is given XCI, then put a box here. This question you can do in your book itself. See XCI. XCI stands for, now X is smaller than C, so that will become 90. Here 1 is there, 91. So this number is 91, and this is L means 50, and then this will be X10 plus 2. So this will become 62. Now which is bigger? This one is bigger. This one is bigger. So we'll put a mouth in front of this question. So this you have to do it in your mind, as you are knowing all the rules of Roman numerals. Fine. This you have to do it in your mind. You have to calculate in your mind and then you have to put the sign in between. This question you can do it in your book itself. Now question number 4. Write the equivalent Roman numeral in the box. It means what you have to do here, you have to do subtraction. The basic subtraction you have to do it, and you find out which Roman numeral stand for this. Write the Hindu Arabic numeral for this and then add that. For example, L minus X. L minus X means 50 minus C. A part is L minus X, which means 50 minus 40. So here The Roman numeral for that is, write the equivalent Roman numeral. L minus x means x L, that is 40. Now B part, x L I plus x x I x. Now which number is this? X L I means this will be your 40 plus 2, 42, plus here 20 plus 9, 29. What is the total here? 171. For 71, which Roman numeral you will write it? That is L X X 70 and 1 I. So this will be the Roman numeral for this. Similarly, C part again, X C I minus L X V I. Find XCII means from 100 you are subtracting 10. So that will become 90 and 2. 92 minus here L means 50, X means 1060, 68. Do the subtraction. 12 minus 8, 4. 8 minus 6, 2. 24. For 24, how will you write the Roman numeral? Yes, X 20, then 4 I V. You have to find out the number first and then you have to write the Roman numeral for that number. This whole exercise is very easy, only such practice is required of Roman numeral. Basic rules I have told you. Following that basic rule you can find out the Roman numerals. Fine. And what is the homework for today is, you have to complete homework for today is complete exercise. This exercise 1.5 you will do it in your copy. Fine. Do practice of it. If you have any doubt, we have our doubt clearing session also on Zoom app, and we'll clear the doubts there. That's all for today. Good day.